Hello, this is Aaron Benmark. This is Funhouse, and I'm here to talk about my TBR for 2025. Now, you'll notice I haven't really posted on this channel for a while, but I am hoping to post more this year. So that's a big goal of mine for the coming year is to actually put some content out, to read more, and to get some better content on the channel. So I thought I'd just do a quick tour of my reading plans for 2025. They're more ambitious. 2024 I did not read as much as I wanted to, though part of that was because I was tackling both Wheel of Time and Malazan, and those are big books. So, I'm hoping I'll be able to read more books just by the nature of the books being shorter. And then I'm also going to dedicate a little bit more time to reading this year because I'm going to have a little bit more free time than I did this previous year. So, what have I read already this year? I've read Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. I've read Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. And I'm finishing up 100 Years of Solitude by Marquise. I forget his full name. So that's what I've read so far in January. And I'm hoping to squeeze in A Memory Called Empire as well. A Memory Called Empire is part of a reading project I'm doing this year where I'm trying to catch up with some more modern award winners that I haven't read. So I'm going to start with the Hugo winners. And I'm going to start with 2020. And then I'm also going to do this year's Hugo winners, 2025. And just sort of work my way front and back through the Hugos of this decade. And I'm picking 4 books out of each year to rate. Now, the Hugo 2025s haven't come out yet, so I don't know. I won't know till later in the year what I'll be reading for those. But for the Hugo 2020s, A Memory Called Empire actually won the Hugo that year, so I'm excited to read that book. I'm also going to finish up the Malazan series in February and probably into March. I need to read the 9th and the 10th book in Malazan still. I've read the first 8 mostly in the last year. As also in March, as part of the 2020 Hugo analysis, I'm going to do Gideon the Ninth, and I'm also going to do a classic. I'm trying to read more classics this year because I've been reading a lot of fantasy sci-fi over the last 3-4 years, and not as much variety as I used to read. So I'm going to read Crime and Punishment, which is a classic Russian novel, Dostoevsky. I've read Brothers Karamazov, and it's one of my favorite books of all time, so I'm really excited to read Crime and Punishment. Then I'm going to jump into the Dandelion Dynasty. I'm going to read the first 2 books in April, is the goal. And then another 2020 Hugo winner is Middle Game. I'm going to squeeze in April as well. And then in May, I'm going to read another classic, Frankenstein, and the last 2 books of the Dandelion Dynasty. That's the goal for May. June, I'm going to finish off my 2020 Hugo winners with 10,000 Doors of January. I'm going to read another classic, Picture of Dorian Gray, and then I'm really excited for this. I'm going to start the Sun Eater series by Christopher Rocchio. And that's going to take up a big chunk of the rest of the year is reading through the Sun Eater books. Interspersed among the Sun Eater books, I'm going to start the 2025 Hugo winners. I don't know what those will be necessarily, but I'm going to start reading those. I'm going to read The Spear Cuts Through Water. I'm going to read This Is How You... I think it's This Is How You Stop the Time War, or This Is How You Start the Time War. Or maybe This Is How You End the Time War. I don't have the full title in front of me for some reason. And I don't remember exactly what it is specifically is, but you know what book I'm talking about. The book about the Time War that was really in vogue a couple years ago. I'm going to keep reading Hugo books. I'm going to read The Tainted Cup, which may be a 2025 Hugo nominee if I'm reading the tea leaves right on what is likely to be nominated. So if that is nominated for a Hugo, I'll read it as part of the Hugo series. If not, I'll read it on its own because I am interested in that book. Then I'm going to start on a classic sci-fi series that I really should have read by now, and that's Dune. And the rest of the year, I'm going to be reading Dune books. I'm going to intersperse The Song of Achilles, because I really liked Circe and I want to read another book by Madeline Miller. And then I also have Pet Cemetery on the list to read this year. Though I think I'm going to move that up. I might switch that in The Tainted Cup so I read that more in October because it's more of a Halloween read. So I think I'll move that on my TBR. If I get through all that, that'll be great. if I get through, if I have time left and I get through all that with time to spare, my overflow for the year includes Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, the Empire of the Wolf series, Orlando, another classic, and Sword of Kagan. So those are the books that I'm in series that I'm planning on reading this year. I'm very excited. I hope to get through all of the ones I just listed off and give you reviews as we go. And I'm going to get some reviews up of the books I've already read this year, which include Wind and Truth, Last Argument of Kings, and 100 Years of Solitude in the next few days. So that's where I'm at. So I am planning on posting to the channel again. I'm going to start getting some content up again, and hope you guys enjoy it. If you want to support the channel, you can buy my book. It's called The Quantum Entanglement. I wrote it. It's available on Amazon. There'll be a link in the description. Thanks.